to I Won't Murder Drones episode 6, a long time. So, this episode is going to be probably long, but just buckle up and bear with me, because here we go. We open back up at the Elliott Manor. We see a drone, almost resembling Sin, walking down the hall. As we get a close-up on her, we see she has white eyes and white lights on her hands. This is very surprising for Sin. Her wristband says Zoe, and it's not marked for disassembly. As we suddenly see a pair of eyes open up in the dumpster nearby. Tessa notices this. She grabs Zoe and Jay and heads out to investigate. She grabs some hair and puts it on V, making V. After they get back to the manor, they finally see the library. Sin likes books, so she decides to go explore. Meanwhile, James sends 2 drone servants into the library because he thought he heard something. They look around and they explore. Sin's curled up in a ball, just trying to stay hidden. As she hears a noise, she looks up to reveal Tessa, along with a new drone, serial designation N. As then James comes up right behind them. He begins to beat Tessa and, abuse the drones. We are spared the details thanks to the camera angle. You see 2 new drones boot up to life. This is N and J, which means this is a flashback and a flashback? Very confusing. Jay looks concerned for her new drones, and Tessa is still rubbing away the beatings. You can see Jay is just holding oil on her, trying to keep it from bleeding out. As we then see Tessa's mom slam one of the drones, not one of the important ones, into a wall. It breaks and they throw it out, like always. As we see its body collapse to the ground. We finally see Sin boot up. Her home is marked with Sin this time, so it's clear that something happened. Meanwhile, back on the spaceship, V, Lizzie, and Thad all come back into the space pod. They say hello to everyone, and it's just a good time. As they suddenly see a head rolling past. Well, we see it, they don't see it. As it's grabbed and broken, we see a disassembly drone fly onto a planet as it suddenly blows up in a mass destruction kind of way. Then we see Thad approach Nori, the symbol flickering in his eye, the Solva. This surprises everyone, except the people that watched the last episode. As Nori just looks at him, concerned, but not really caring. As she finally says, "Dad, let me explain something to you." We just see V look horrified, remembering that Dad has the Solva now, across the room. And Lizzie pulls out her phone and begins texting, like always. Meanwhile, Uzi and Nan are in their room, just having a good time, like always. But then we see Lily. Lily says she's gonna go to the bathroom, and we see the symbol flicker in her eye again, which makes N and Uzi worried. N goes off to teach V how to fly a spaceship, as we see Neil wanting to kill Dad from across the other side of the room. Julie, or Jessica, I kind of forgot her name. I think it's Jessica. Jessica is just standing there before she ties him up with her tail, not letting him go to attack anyone. Meanwhile, Khan is still building a door as he suddenly... What? The script just cuts off here. Oh, that's my bad, guys. As Khan just suddenly starts to walk around the hall. Not suddenly. What am I saying, bro? This episode's gonna be whack. As we see X looking back at the planet he destroyed. As he says, "Boss, I did the job." Meanwhile, L is showing off his grudge against X. We see a flashback of X's parents being murdered by X. L's parents being murdered by X. And X wiping out a few other members of his family. As then we see Sin blow up his planet. He was thankfully able to survive and get infected with the Solver, and eventually able to retreat to the humans. J.C. Jensen. I can't do that. He is put through some training, but he's able to eventually get in. We see some crazy ramblings, along with ways to take down Sin and X. Up on his wall, ceiling, finger maybe? Finger. His wall or ceiling. Then we get a cut to Doll, just sitting in a different room of the spaceship, just looking down at her legs. As we then see her stand up and walk down a hallway. We see Khan as Doll throws him against the pillar, and he says, "So, I heard you want to work with us now, Doll, huh?" Doll just rolls her eyes, saying, "Kumineshwa," which translates to, "I don't need your help. I'm just doing this to take down Sin and get my revenge." As Doll teleports away, we see a glitchy portal open up in space as X flies through it. We see Sin from the final battle of episode 8 of season 1 look up at him, smiling to herself as she says, "Guess my plans in the future finally came true, just in a different timeline," Sin says. Meanwhile, we cut back to Lily, wandering down the hallway, as she sees a poster and some documents in a dark part of the building. Spaceship, building, whatever you want to call it. The symbol flickers through her eye, the left one, as we see the plans in a close-up shot. It basically explains J.C. Jensen created the Absolute Solver, to try and control it but make them gods. They were going to eventually try and infect humans with the program to make them gods. But the Solver was able to infect dead drones, as we can see in the main show, and escaped J.C. Jensen's protocols, leading to the creation of Sin. Meanwhile, we see N land on top of, right behind V. I also forgot to mention, something knocked Lily out after she solved the plans, and we just heard her body getting dragged away, and then carried, and then a door shut and locked. But that's not important, for now. N lands right behind V, saying, "Ready to fly, V?" V just shrugs and says, "You know it, N." As we see them go onto the spaceship roof, seeing a space pod. As we see the spaceship fly past rocks all over the place, we get a close-up shot into it, and it's revealed that it's N flying. He tells V, "It's your turn." As we see Lizzie, still texting, but she puts her phone down, looking straight at Dad and Nori. Dad and Nori are talking about third-generation Solver hosts become ultimate Solver hosts, which is basically to make them an unkillable god. They are killable if enough people try, but it would be very difficult. Nori explains that since this is Sin's third body, since she had the Elliot Manor body, then the Sinessa body, and then, this new body she's using, I guess. She is one of those, but so is Lily. You can't tell her they're bad. Dad's asking about his Solver, though, and Nori says, just try to use mental power to fight Sin off. Or whatever. Wait, Nori says. As we see a Sinessa get destroyed by a flesh null, by the real Sin. This happens over and over again in so many timelines. It's clear that Sin... We see a list. Sin has destroyed every timeline but one. Every universe but one. There's only one thing left she needs to do. Before her end goal, it says on the list, is to rebuild a better world. It's clear that this is probably our main timeline that our characters are in. But maybe not. I'm gonna guess so since we just sold them though. As we see Lily wake up, strapped to an operating table in some kind of laboratory. As we see a scientist walk in, around 16 years old. Her name is Ava. She introduces herself to Lily and calls her a little cutie, because Lily is actually pretty cute. The two begin to talk, Ava saying, I gotta just run some tests. As Lily says, Lily tries to use her solver, but the magnets on her head keep her from doing so. As Ava then says, no, none of that. I do feel pretty bad for you, though. Lily just scoffs, saying, why am I here? Ava explains that since she is a solver host, they have to take her. And they suspect that she might be stronger than one. Clearly, ultimate solver host. But meanwhile, Lily says, but I don't wanna. Ava says, I'm sorry, little girl, but you have to. And then Lily just frowns and sighs dramatically. Her poke disassembly drone claw and tail sticking out. Her wings on her back are very small, but they still are functional, nonetheless. As Ava says, ooh, an interesting model I see. As Lily then says, yeah, I'm potent. I'm poke disassembly poke worker. And I do got the solver, thank you very much. At least, Lily says. Ava says, interesting. I'm kidding, she doesn't do the evil laugh. As Lily says, do you want to be my friend? Because she is very nice. Ava says, sure, because she's very nice to little children. Even if Lily is just a robot. The two begin to talk about what their favorite foods are. For Lily, it's oil and batteries mixed into a soup. For Ava, it's mac and cheese with spaghetti sauce. Pretty weird, I know. Then they talk about their lives. Lily says she has had a very nice life. Nothing crazy has happened, except suddenly her eyes flash yellow for brief moments, and she can hear voices in her head. And whisper, probably Sin. Ava says, oh yeah, that's Sin. Lily says, who? Who is Sin? Ava explains that Sin is the main host of the solver. I swear your mom defeated her, she says. Guess she's back again. Wait, crap. That means she's a third generation. You gotta be kidding me, Ava says. Lily asks what a third generation means. Ava explains that they're unkillable gods, basically, unless enough people try. And they have to be a bunch of sulfur hosts, just regular. And even then, they only have a good chance. Lily says she's a third generation. And then Ava sighs in relief, but also fear. Ava explains that they're definitely going to study her if they find out, but she'll keep it secret, because she is the only way to take down Sin, once and for all. Just don't put the consciousness inside of anyone this time like your mom did. Okay? Lily agrees to the terms. And suddenly we hear a red alarm go off. Experiments begin to break out. Sentries go wild and start killing even the humans. All of the flashes fill the room as it all goes to red lights flashing. Sentries blow people up with the little light wings that can apparently shoot rockets, I guess. They flash experiments down onto life, knocking them out. Everything that's left is Lily and Ava, and some humans fleeing the scene. Ava grabs a wrench kind of thing from a counter, and she has a frown on her face. She says for Lily to stay behind her, as a sentry pokes its jaw right next to her head. Ava smashes its light, making it go ballistic and fall to the ground. In an epic fight, the two begin to clash, Ava breaking its light displays as she then pries its teeth off of it and then slams her wrench straight into its head. Ava sees more sentries coming as this sentry falls to the ground in the V. As suddenly, they see an exit and they begin to floor out, which means run out. Here, I even have, guys, this is the part 1 production. Yay! Just listen to this, guys. As Ava and Uzi run back in the room, they see Dad just standing there as he looks down and says,
Hey Z, it's been a while. I didn't know you had a kid. She's pretty cute.
As V looks at Dad, she says,
Dad, are you stupid or something?
He lands right next to V. He gives a double thumbs up and a warm smile, saying,
V did great!
As Lily jumps straight onto in, she hugs him, pulling Uzi close with her solver and hugging her as well, as she says,
I love you, Mommy and Daddy.
As everything goes dark, we see V look concerned at the rest of the group as the lights start to flicker before eventually cutting completely out. We hear her say,
You idiots. So hold off what's ever causing this. I'm gonna go find that spaceship that Anne taught me how to fly.
as we see all of their eyes illuminating the area. Silver symbols kick on all around them. Eyes watch from above. Sin's laughter fills the room as she says to V, Where do you think you're going? Sin says. The eyes illuminate the room as V flies out. We see V come back as she says, I couldn't find it. But this is not how she looks before. She has a bow and she's in her mana outfit. She's still a disassembly drone, but her left eye is infected with the silver as well. As we suddenly see two eyes tower above Jay pacifically, saying, Once again you have failed me, Jay. Perhaps it is time for a little upgrade, Sin says. As V's body collapses and looks horrified, as tendrils begin to fill it, as it all fades into a blue familiar light. As Sin slams him against the wall, V runs back in, flies back in I should say, as V flies back into the duck room. The duck room? My bad typo, but as V flies back into the duck room, she fires a rocket straight at the silver. As she tries to grab Lizzie, but is pinned against the wall. The silver's giggling fills the room as it says, Sorry, not sorry. You are going to die now. As we see Spooky run in and throw everyone on his back, he throws them all into the space pod. Before V, as he is grabbed by the tendrils, Julie and Jessica run in. As the spaceship closes, Neil tries to save Sparky, but is pulled back by Julie. Jay slams the button, shutting the doors of the space pod. As it closes, we see an outer shot of the space pod as it flies off into space. Clearly, everyone is inside, except our beloved dinosaur, Spooky. Rip Spooky in the chat, guys. As Dad looks at V, who is staring back at the repair pod door, chainsaw out in one hand, and her other hand just regular. The miserable expression on her face, as she just keeps looking, waiting for something to come. Dad asks,
Hey V, is that Dinodrome gonna be okay?
as then Elle replies with,
Dad, can you see if he's upset right now?
and eventually Lily even says something, getting up and climbing on V, saying, we see him just sitting there, next to Sin, floating in space. We see the ship floor past, I guess, shoot past, whatever you want to call it, shoot past a few 100 miles away. X just glances at it before saying,
Boss, why don't you just possess the stupid one and then kill everyone?
Sin then replies with, no, that would not be very fun. Giggle.
Whatever, Sin.
Okay. As we see Sin's oh, I'm stuttering today. I had the cough, guys. That's my bad. As we see the Solva symbol flash across Lily's eye display, V still doesn't respond. But then we hear Sin's voice echo from the shadows. I will always be watching you, Lily. Always, Sin says as the yellow light fades. And that's the end of episode 6. I really hope you guys like this, and if you want to see more artwork and some more of these awesome voice actors, just let me know down in the comments below. Hey, we still need a voice for Uzi, and we will always take more artists. So, just DM me on Discord. Username Drone Theory. See you all.